Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Ali and Java with Ali. So today we are going to dive a little bit more into things, and we are taking off from the last video, which was constructors and method overloading. And I just want to say a quick note, thank you so much for your patience, because I have had some time off in between with COVID and infections and stuff, and now all better. So let's continue. So we have here just our hello class as per the previous video, and second class and token test, but I'm going to set up a new class here as well within the same package. I think I'm going to keep it within the same package. It's not ideal, don't do this in the workplace, but just for demonstration purposes it's pretty nice to do. So we're going to call this account. This is going to be without main, so finish, and I'm going to set up another one as account test, and let's get started. So what we want to do is, in the account we're going to have our getters and setters, our variables that we want to access. Then we're going to create a new object in account test and test it, and then you can see everything kind of coming together. And then we're going to start looking at things that we can pass through method variables, instance variables, and things like that as well. So bear with me, we're going to do a few of these things, private variables within the class. So we'll say int x, and as with everything, I like to use little acronyms to describe this. So X in this instance is going to be a private instance variable within the class, and we need to do three things. So I like to use the acronym DAU. I made it up myself because I teach programming. So declare, assign, and use. So I'm declaring it as X right now. So at the moment, all it is a box with the label X on it, and it's type integer, so it's only this size. And if you think of it physically, then you can get your head around why we'd use other types of variables, and why we'd use why we call them specific things as well. So we're going to say xy as well. Now we also need to generate our getters and setters, and you can do this within Eclipse using source, generate getters and setters, and easily tick the two boxes and generate. Ta-da! Which is quite nice. Now there is here you can see that the default constructor for this account class is going to be called account. It's your default one. It's empty. The minute you describe a different constructor, then you also need to have an empty constructor. That is part of the syntax rules within Java as well. So the minute I start saying that I need int x, and I'm going to say this keyword is very useful within Java. So we have, you can see when you hover over it, the int test package ali.account.x, and then this, as I hover over it, is part belonging to the constructor itself account. I was going to say method. The constructor itself account. So this is going to be our empty constructor here, because we have another constructor. We need to also have an empty constructor, because an empty constructor is your default constructor, but because I'm going to invoke account and also assign it something else, like create a new object within account test, then I need that. So this is your most basic stuff now that we have here. We can also pass in, let's say, int y here, or we can call it something else as well. It doesn't have to be called, but the most useful thing is that it's readable for you, understandable for you. People tend to, within the workplace, operate in a way that the variables are the same, they're matching, they're consistent throughout their programming. Sometimes we have code styles, kind of like in any language as well. Even if you write a book, or if you do something for publishing, or if you do anything to do with a website or edit or anything like that, there's usually a style guide with it. And also with that, you have usually when you go to the workplace, you'll also get a kind of a similar style guide. And if they don't have one, it's good to suggest one, because then it's consistent, clean code throughout your organization. And by that, I mean, do you use underscores? Do you use capital or camel casing? Do you use capital letters with particular things, or what are the meanings of the terms? Usually the start of every method that's a Boolean is blah blah blah. The words that your is on is blah blah blah. The usual way how to name an integer or anything like that, it's also dependent on the organization and what you're working on. So x and y is just what we're going to use as unknown variables, the similar x and y that we use in mathematics in school. It has absolutely no meaning at the moment. We're just going to say int x and y. So bear with me. Now that will be our save. Now we have our auto generated here, and we are going to create a new object of account. So I'm going to say account equals new account, and that's our new account. Okay, we know this already. So we have ACC dot and everything that we can set and pass through then our methods. So we're going to pass through our dot set x, let's say, and I'm going to set it to 22. So then this is in our own specific object that we've just created. Now we can also create our next one, account 2, or let's say underscore 2, or new account B, might be better. And I'm going to say instead, see, you can pass through different variables. So I'm going to say 3, 4, and there are 2 different ways to do this. So I just said 3, 4 here. However, I could just as easily have created a variable called new or account B X. Let's say. These are not good naming conventions. These are just for ease of use to follow the instruction. So I could just as easily do this as well, and then put this in here if I wanted to as well. You get the idea. So account B then, and I'm going to say get Y. But I want to print it out on the screen, and I think we had a little bit of this before where I can print out something. And the best part is, let's say you can do this as well. You can print it out on screen as such, because we're going to just test it. So we're going to have a look. It just comes up as 4. And there you go. So that is a very short summary of what we've done so far. Thank you again for your patience in my recovery and my few weeks that I could not post any videos. And hopefully now we'll have more consistent uploads. And I look forward to teaching more programming and Java and getting into more details as we go along. So I hope this helps. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you like the video. And also comment below if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, bye.